Hard times don't create heroes, but in the hard times, we realize the real heroes within ourselves. We have a real life hero with us today. He has saved millions of lives, and today he's sitting with us at PIC's head office, and his name is Dylan Van Royal. Hi Dylan, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for the very kind introduction.
We are starting this podcast series, Stranger Story. Thank you for supporting it in collaboration with PIC Society. And we are really honored that you're here and you're here to share your story with us. And the viewers and myself, we're pretty excited about it because you know what? We have seen people choosing a career that is more luxurious, can give them a comfortable life. But you chose a career because you're the vice president of Surrey Firefighter Charitable Society, and you have chosen a career which saves life, and you are always out there doing the courageous tasks. So we really wanted to ask you, what inspired you? What was your childhood like? Why did you choose your career?
Yeah, no, what inspired me? What a great question. As far as my childhood, I was born and raised in Surrey, so deep-rooted connections to the community here in Surrey. Was born at Surrey Memorial Hospital, grew up in Newton, Cloverdale, moved to Fleetwood, and then eventually as I got older to South Surrey. So yeah, I've always had that connection with the community. One of the first jobs I ever had was a lifeguard. And teaching swimming lessons. So teaching swimming lessons, lifeguarding, not that lifeguards on a regular basis respond to emergencies, but you train and you practice and you learn a little bit more about those life-saving skills.
Absolutely.
So it was really that kind of early stages career that took me down the path to thinking, I want to do something that uses some of these skills that I've gathered, grow and build these skills, but give back to the community. I was fortunate enough to work at the YMCA in Surrey on 152nd and Highway 10, where I had the opportunity to meet a group of firefighters. Firefighters came in there regularly. They would give me advice on different career paths. I was just a young man, 18, 19 years old, not 100% sure what I wanted to do. I was thinking potentially policing, paramedic, or fire. And it was actually the firefighters that said, you know what? This is an awesome career. You get to give back on the job, but also give back off the job. And I watched what they did. They actually donated to the YMCA where I worked, which helped create the gym. So that was really intriguing to me, that this group of firefighters not only did all that great work on the job, but it was the stuff that they did off the job that drew me to
this profession. Yeah. This is amazing because we see a lot of stories of youth choosing their career based on, how much money they're making or how much time they are required on the job. But this is something very unique, and you're only intrigued by the fact that you're able to give back to the society. So wonderful. Our viewers also wanted to know about, let's say if somebody wants to join the Surrey Firefighter Charitable Society, I just wanted to be a firefighter overall. So what's the process?
Yeah, for sure. So to become a firefighter, it's quite an extensive process. Obviously, there's a physical component to the job because we're potentially running into burning buildings, potentially having to remove somebody from that building. So there is a physical standard and component to the job. Being physically fit's important. Being able to drive the fire truck, that is an expectation. Everyone on the job is a driver, operator of the truck, and they're very unique trucks because there's a pump on the truck and a very unique features compared to normal vehicles or even standard trucks that you see out there. So your Class 3 driver's license, there is a requirement for some post-secondary education in most departments. They just want to see that you've obviously graduated high school and then kind of further grow yourself. That could be in the trades field, that could be business marketing. I actually took more of that business marketing side of things myself. And then there's the job-specific training, which is, it's called the NFPA 1001, and that's that firefighter training. So I went to the JIBC here out in Maple Ridge, and that's where I completed my training, but there are training academies all over North America that would actually meet those qualifications.
Amazing. So this is going to be really helpful for somebody looking to get into the same profession. Of course, Dylan is here and he's available to answer all your questions, and we can invite him again. If you have more questions, feel free to comment below and ask whatever questions you have. Moving on, Dylan, I have seen you at various locations, at various events. You're always generous. and you are donating, whether it's Surrey Food Bank, Pig Society, or any other charitable society. You were also there supporting us at our Friends of Pig Scala, and you were the silver sponsors. So we are really grateful to you for that. So how does this generosity, what is your thought process?
Yeah, the thought process behind that, and it's a collective group. So we've got 450 members here in Surrey. They're firefighters, they're dispatchers, mechanics, training officers. And really what it was 30 years ago, the group got together and said, we help every day when we respond to calls. But then we get back to the fire hall, we know there's more work to be done. We know there's more support needed. What does that look like? And that's where the Charitable Society started from. So really, the Surrey Firefighters Charitable Society, our mandate is we are Surrey-based, we are Surrey-focused, and there isn't one specific type of charity that we're looking to support. We're looking to support those who call Surrey home, who work in Surrey, who live in Surrey, or even our visitors in Surrey. If people need help in our city, we want to be a part of that. We're not necessarily the ones doing the work. That's where PICS comes in. We know you guys are doing the great work with the employment services and everything else that you guys offer. How can we be a part of that? Sometimes that's making a financial donation.
Wow. This is really inspiring for anybody looking forward to donate. So, always feel free to donate to the community societies near you, because they really need your support in helping others. So, for instance, PICS helping newcomers, like he said, refugees, and then women, children. We have seniors housing, women housing. And if we get the funding, the right funding, that we are able to build more housing facilities, more facilities for people outside. So thank you so much on that note. I also read somewhere that you have been awarded 40 under 40 in the businesses in Vancouver. So first of all, congratulations. I think I'm late for that, but still wanted to talk about that here. So why that happened? So what all went through in receiving it?
Yeah, no, that was a surprise, and it was a big honor that I just received it this year, actually, in November. I got the top 40 under 40 in business. And that was for the work that I do out in the community. One, as the vice president for the Surrey Firefighters Charitable Society. I also serve as the board chair for the Child Development Foundation, or former board chair. I'll be rejoining them again next year. So I work with a lot of different organizations. So I'm still not 100% sure who nominated me, but someone had put a nomination forward. I was lucky enough to read the kind words that they put forward, but it was for the work that I do in the community and the funds that we've raised. And together, working with our team of volunteers here in Surrey with the Charitable Society, our Firefighters Charitable Society, we've raised millions of dollars in the last couple of years. So a pretty big honor to be recognized as an individual and be one of the leaders of that group.
Absolutely.
But of course, it's a team effort that got that done.
Absolutely. So Dylan, in this profession, it demands a lot of tenacity, courage to be always ready to help others. How do you take care of your physical and your mental health?
Yeah, it's a good question, and that's something that has become a larger focus for first responders in recent years. As far as physical health, what I personally try to do, I try to maintain a decently healthy diet and make sure we're watching what we're eating, understanding that we're going to be pulled into calls where my heart rate is going to be elevated and body temperatures go up. So being in good physical shape is important, so I'm able to perform the duties of the job, but also not become a patient myself at the call when we're in a potentially dangerous environment. As far as mental health, this has become very, very important to first responders and taking care of our mental health. And a lot of it starts right at the fire hall. It's coming back after a challenging call and having conversation as a crew, talking about how did that make us feel. And everyone sees something a little bit different at these calls. We go to some pretty devastating incidents where, unfortunately, sometimes people don't survive the call. And it impacts everyone differently. Do they have young kids at home? Is there something that they can relate to? So we try to talk about these things. And then we've built programs and support in place as well to ensure that if one of our members needs a little bit more than that crew talk, that they can go and get that help. And a big piece of getting that help is there used to be this secrecy, and people were almost embarrassed to say, hey, I need to go and talk to somebody, because they thought there was a sign of weakness. And really, it's not a sign of weakness. It's just identifying that you need an extra hand. So yeah, it's just knowing where these resources are and not being afraid to use them, because they are there.
Wow, this is really appreciated, because I would tell you that I started Stranger Story for the fact that it said that if you talk to a stranger, you feel happy and you feel, I don't know, there is some facts about it. But then that's for sure, if you are also facing any kind of issues related to your mental health, you're feeling depressed, anxious or whatever, feel free to go out, talk to your friends, or for that matter, to any stranger, and that's going to relieve some of your pain. And this is a clear example coming from a profession which is, I again said, which is really difficult. And we really respect that. One last question we had. So what's the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning, and the last thing that you do before you sleep?
Yeah, the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning, every day is a little bit different depending if I'm heading into the fire hall or not. If I'm not heading into the fire hall for a shift, I typically like to get on the bike. I got a stationary bike at home. I get on the bike and I do a minimum of 30-minute ride. Not necessarily a high intense ride, but just something to get going in the morning, get the blood circulating. What I found is if I skip the workout in the morning, I'm less likely to do something in the afternoon, because you get busy, you get tied up, we get tired. And so it just seems to start the day right for me. And then as far as what do I do just before I go to bed, this isn't a great answer because I know you're not supposed to do this. Typically, I check my emails. I grab my phone and I cycle through my emails, not so much for something that's come in last minute, but to get my day the next day lined up, make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. We do have quite busy days with our charitable society and some of the other work that I do. So I want to make sure that I don't miss important appointments, that I'm well read on whatever it is we're doing the next day. Again, I know they say don't read and don't use your phone just before bed.
Yeah.
But one thing is it does set me up for success the next day. Maybe not always the most restful sleep though.
So that really shows that you're clearly dedicated towards your work and, of course, ambitious, which is great. So before, winding up this interview, just wanted to ask you, what are your future plans in terms of being at this Firefighter Charitable Society, and any message for viewers listening to this video?
Yeah, no, my plan, I've been a firefighter in Surrey for 14 years. I've been on our board overseeing your charitable society for 8 years now. I'm about halfway through my career as a firefighter, and I don't plan to go anywhere yet with the work that we're doing with the charitable society. We've seen great success over recent years with increased revenue, increased support we're able to give to the community. So I hope to continue doing this for at least another 8 years in a leadership role. So, and a message to the community is just get engaged. One of the best things and most rewarding things for myself is getting engaged. That doesn't always mean making a financial contribution. Not all of us are able to do so, but volunteering in the community, getting involved in something that you like and spending some of your time giving back, helping others. It's rewarding, but I just feel like it sets you up for success. You walk away in a better mood that day. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for the interview today, and I hope this is going to help at least someone, and that solves our purpose. So thank you for being on Stranger Story in collaboration with Pix Society.
Thank you so much for having me today.